Well, looks like Capsule Corp is getting a new arrival. Hey guys, DB Right here, and today I'm here with a new what if. What if Broly landed at Capsule Corp? Broly? Why not Kakarot? DB Right. Well, I wanted to explore what might happen if things with the Dragon Ball minor story, or rather concerning Broly's new origin story were concerned, were just changed slightly different. And so without further ado, our story begins 5 years before the fall of planet Vegeta. Vegeta, who had just been introduced to his new Lord and Master, Lord Frieza, who have, of course, had descended upon them to bestow them new scouters, and of course, giving them a little bit of an example of what the Saiyans are now going to be dealing with now that King Cold is stepping down. But King Vegeta swears Frieza would rue the day, because one day Prince Vegeta would be a ruthless king and would rule the universe instead of Frieza, blah blah blah, I'm King Vegeta. You know how this bit goes. So, then, however, in the chamber reserved for the most elite of the Saiyan children, King Vegeta glances at another kid he hadn't seen before. It was, of course, Broly, and much like in the original, he became afraid of the kid's power immediately, whose power level far surpassed the prince. In fact, the power level was downright unreadable, or the device, blew up in his hand. Either way, King Vegeta has decided to banish the young man to planet Vampa, to the planetoid Vampa, just like in the original. And just like in the original, that is exactly where Broly is heading, and Paragus, of course, is in hot pursuit, learning of the news, taking a spacecraft from himself. However, what they didn't know is that the space pod that Broly is in, at least in this timeline, is malfunctioning and really screwy. That the coordinates keep changing and muffling about until finally the coordinates finally stop, and the ship takes basically an immediate right turn, going in pretty much basically another direction. And poor Paragus, he believes his son is on the planetoid Vampa and is on his way to rescue him there. However, Broly is no longer on his way there. Oh no, he is on his way to planet Earth. And well, as Broly is flying through space, he just happens to race by Jocko, who is on his little strange little moon-like area, where he likes to have his noodles. Yeah. Broly has just gone straight past him, Jocko recognizing that this is a Saiyan spaceport, and it's heading straight into his jurisdiction, the very section of space that he's in charge, that he's supposed to keep Saiyan free. Oh no, if I don't do something about this, the boss is really gonna have my head. You know what? If they ask, this was your fault, talking to the noodle shop owner. You insisted I tried your new product. Got it? And well, he's off racing after Broly in hot pursuit. Meanwhile, things with Paragus have pretty much gone the way they do in the original, with ultimately him and the other pilot being stuck on the planet. Now, the big difference is Paragus doesn't kill the pilot this time around. They're stranded, yes, but Paragus just sort of feels that it's probably a good idea to keep this guy alive, at least till they find their son. By their son, I mean Paragus' son. Oops, bad wording there. Stop it. So, yeah, so with that, those two are pretty much on their own. And well, they do manage to get the signal, the distress beacon fixed, and basically set our distress signal. But of course, we know no one responds for that for many, many years left. So for this point of the story, Paragus is pretty much out of it until we eventually get back to him. Anyway, so without warning, Broly finally lands on planet Earth, crash landing at Capsule Corp, of all places. What, did you think I was going to have him raised by Grandpa Gohan? Well, I'm sorry if I disappointed you there. Nah, Capsule Corp's the real deal. And well, by the time Broly arrives, this pretty much, I would feel, sort of coincides with Bulma just being born. And well, with Broly being a scared Saiyan child, however, with him being discovered by Bulma's sister, whose name escapes me for the moment, I'll look it up later. Anyway, she does manage to break down Broly's guards a little bit, and he comes around and does manage to step out of his own space pod, and he's pretty much taken into the house by her, along with some members of Capsule Corp security, and well, Bulma's sister basically explains where she found the kid, and the guards can concur the story that definitely some sort of spacecraft, as you know, crashed onto their grounds. So Dr. Briefs, being Dr. Briefs, is immediately beginning to inspect the craft and have a look at it. You know, space tech room to play with. That's exactly, you know, definitely good for him. And meanwhile, Mrs. Briefs, Bulma's mother, is, you know, carrying the young infant Bulma in her arms, and basically, ultimately, they decide to take the child in. For starters, for Dr. Briefs, he'd be pretty handy in his research, especially when it comes to Broly's little outbursts in ki, which he does sometimes. You know, when he's hungry and upset, wants something to eat and whatnot, he does power up and give them a bit of a scare. Don't worry, he doesn't kill anyone or anything. And thanks to that, this means that Dr. Briefs is basically exposed to ki energy and is able to devise a way to keep Broly's power in check. Now, not a shock collar like Paragus does. I mean, come on, this is Dr. Briefs we're talking about. We've got the whole Capsule Corp and the technology that Capsule Corp is capable of building there to work with. Not to mention the advancements in technology they just got from Broly's ship. They're able to devise a bit of some sort of a necklace sort of thing. Very similar to the one he wears in the original that suppresses Broly's power. You know, from the legendary Super Saiyan movie. Kind of like that, but a fair bit more effective. At least as far as we know at the moment, because he hasn't really gone enraged or blown anything up yet. And the real test to this collar came at one full moon. The bracelet was powerful enough, this energy suppressing necklace that Broly wears was powerful enough to stop him from even transforming, going great ape and running amok on the city. Basically, when Broly looked at the full moon, now, mind you, the power did try to get out, and they definitely gave him a bit of a scare, like he got all big and bulky and a bit furry, and the snow was beginning to form. and his clothes being ripped, but that's as far as it got before he repressed to normal, and then maybe he'd go back to that sort of point of struggling again, and then back. It was enough to keep him from going ape. Now I know Saiyan's biology, it's due to the blood waves from the moon why they transform. Well, because this is designed to keep Broly's power at bay, I would assume that when Saiyans look into the moon, they draw that blood waves energies in, and that technically becomes their power. Therefore, his necklace would react and stop him. Now, mind you, Broly still has some power he can use. He does still have exceptional fighting ability and prowess. And it's just that the necklace keeps him from losing control. So, oh great, now it's raining. Okay, so essentially with that, basically we go throughout the years with Capsule Corp with and West City without any incidents. The necklace is able to stop him from going Great Ape rampaging in the city, and of course can stop him on a regular basis. Now as for Jocko, he was considering, arresting Broly, but making the case that he was a child and seeing that for the most part Broly was a timid, scared child, yeah, Jocko basically ultimately decided not to report any of this, but Jocko will be watching him very closely. This is simply some sort of adoption, a good Saiyan? Who'd have thought it, eh? So, basically, with that, the years go by, and Broly is quite happy growing up in a loving household with the Breeze family, who are quite wacky, and you got Bulma, who's now growing up, and their sister's now moved out, having her own life, having adventures with Jocko out in space like she does. And now we head into the part where Goku comes into the story. Goku, who of course was sent away 5 years later by Bardock and Guinea, just like in the original, and he is raised by Grandpa Gohan. And now, with Grandpa Gohan's unfortunate death and those years going by, we are now heading into the part where Bulma, along with her brother Broly, are out looking for Dragon Balls together. And I think this is a perfect place to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Do you enjoy this story? What are things going to be like with Goku having another Saiyan in the mix? Someone who's able to tell Goku who and what he is and where he came from. Broly does have a vivid memory of all that and where he came from. After all, he's heard Jocko mention Saiyans a few times, so there's no real mystery there. Anyway, all this and more next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back next time for another What If. Catch you later. See yous around.